moved to the U.S. and they end up picking a bunch of mushrooms, and I think there was 3 or 4 of them died, and I think there was only one little boy that survived. Did you hear about that?
I don't know if it was this case specifically, but I have heard about things like that. Yeah.
I know my wife will say, I'm not eating it. I said, well, I got an encyclopedia book of mushrooms. So, and still, there's a lot of lookalikes.
Mushrooms are pretty valuable as well, right?
Yeah, my son told me.
What do you think we have here?
Bow hunter, my guess.
Is that because of the season?
Mm-hmm. See, that's why you get out there before September 1st, and then there's no question. Well, we've set on people because usually your ginseng digger is going to be a mushroom hunter and a berry picker. See, I pick 15, 20 gallons of berry a year.
Wait, they say that? Or
No, that's what I find. Yeah.
Okay. So when you see a vehicle like that, you pull up their information to see if there's any prior record?
Yeah, to see who they are, and then I get in here and check to see if they have a hunting license. If they have a hunting license, there's even more of a chance that they're a hunter.
And if they don't?
Might raise that suspicion a little bit. Nothing's for sure. I've sat on people and they come out and other officers, they have a big bunch of mushrooms. And, either way, it's all good. It's just, a lot of stuff, it turns out to a positive contact. Can't be all negative. Let's see. Security number. I'll say I could call Columbus and have all that done, but I know they're busy a lot.
What would you call them about?
Call them to run the plate on that to get the individual's name.
You can't do that here?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
But a lot of officers just, run a signal 7 just to see who it is when I can do it,
Yes, ma'am. We'll be clear of Marietta. I travel status to the Athens unit for training today.
Yep. He's got resident hunt, resident fish. I've noticed a lot of people coming up through here to this area. I don't know if it's because of the river, but a lot of people come up here and, trespass and dig it on. There's private property here too, but, they come up here, to poach ginseng. Yeah, the fella I told you about him and his wife, he was parked right here. I sit up here on the bank and I drive around the loop, about a 2-mile loop, and when I come back, his vehicle's gone. He was pulled right here. He just went out that way. There's so many different ways that can, get back to Zanesville or wherever. He was kind of ironic.
What was that?
I said it was kind of ironic. He lived about 100 yards from my mom and dad's house. Never knew, he was a ginseng digger until I met him. Well, I met him, 3 times before I arrested him. We're timbering here. And we got a map here. I can show you where our wildlife area is. All that green. So right now we're on private property. Both sides we're driving through it. We had people, we arrested 3 up here that, just pulled off the road. They come out, they didn't have no permission or anything.
What is the park that is around here?
All the green, that's Tri-Valley Wildlife Area.
How many wildlife areas are there in Muskingum County?
Let's see. We got Powellson Wildlife Area. We used to have Avondale Wildlife Area. We don't have it anymore. They took it out of agreement with us. We got Tri-Valley.
What does that mean? They took it out of agreement with us?
It's land owned by AEP.
What's AEP?
American Electric Power. They own 60,000 acres, but we had one block or it might have been 7,000 acres. And they had an agreement with us, we patrol it, can write tickets, and, people can hunt there, public hunting. So, which is a good deal.
Why did they take it out?
It was a piece of property. I think they end up wanting this. I think that it was auctioned off. I think they went back in for coal too. So it was down in Perry County, in through Muskingum. They clear cut it, taking coal. And all this I had permission to dig. I haven't dug here this year. It's kind of a little ways from Zanesville. You wouldn't believe the rocks. There's rocks up there, 3 or 4 times big as this truck. I've seen rocks up in there big as the house. We'll see some up down here. Yeah. You might be able to climb a couple of rocks.
I was just thinking.
I'll show you some down here. There are some monsters. It was going through your head. Now, would that mean you were working on duty?
That's a funny question.
Uh-huh.
I have written about rock climbing as well for REI, for a couple of different magazines.
Guys would come in here and camp here. There was a guy camping here. Guy out to the end, he leases some land. He actually works at a car dealership. He sells cars, and they got a farm down here they lease, and he's on the lease with them. Well, he got a trail camera picture of a guy, and I met that guy. He lives right over the hill here, and in the picture he had a orange sack on his side, and I figured he was a ginseng digger, but he had got permission off the old guy that owns all this out here. His name's Art. And, but he was 300 yards over on this guy's, property. It took me a year, but I finally seen that guy. He's riding a 4-wheeler. And I asked him, he had that orange sack on his side. So in my contact, I asked him what he's doing. He said, I'm going to dig a little ginseng. I said, oh, you dig ginseng? He was like, yeah. He said, I stopped here and get a couple apples. I said, when you have that orange sack with you, are you digging ginseng? He said, yep, every time. So he was caught on trail camera. So, him and his boy got, summons for digging without permission. And that's me just talking to people, This is a long way for me to come, but, these guys down here see a vehicle, they'll call me. So
And when you say these guys, it's the property owners?
No, these guys are on leased property. You know, I think one of our wildlife, Woodbury Wildlife Area up in Coshocton, he has a lot up here for the river. And he'll come up and camp and fish. And, well, he sees these vehicles too, so he's always leaving me, call me and leave me a voicemail. Hey, seen this vehicle was pulled off down here by the weeds. And, I've made cases out there like that. So I got to contribute to, some of my helpers, I got to give them some props. It's just me getting people interested in ginseng. A lot of landowners don't even know what it is. I go to the Soil and Water office, or they'll have farm bureau meeting, all the farmers, and I went there and talked about ginseng, and just let them know, what kind of issues I'm dealing with. And I was finding out that some of the best time for these guys to get out here and dig these areas was during your county fair, Muskingum County Fair. All the grandkids got sheep, got goats, got showing pigs, and Grandpa's going to be there. The farm's left open, and these guys hit them areas. I've actually made some cases during them times.
When is that?
During your county fair.
When is the county fair?
The county fair is in August, so it was before season.
Now, do you have to get a permit even if you're digging on private property?
You have to have written permission from the landowner.
But not from the state?
Well, no. But you're saying, you mean during season?
Anytime.
I think if you grow ginseng, you have to get a letter permit from the chief showing hardship to where you can harvest on, your ginseng. Here's, it's starting to get steep. There's a turkey. There's another turkey, another one.
Oh, wow.
We'll get up there a little quicker and we'll get to see him. Down a little bit. They wasn't running. You can omit that. You're laughing. I was talking to one of the comm center girls, and she said, "Is it true?" I said, "Yes." It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm on duty. I got to go pick up 2 alligators. Somebody left 2 alligators, 2 3-foot alligators abandoned, and she's like, and she's the only one on. I've never met her. And she's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I'm serious." And then she gets on there, and we never horseplay on there. She said, "So is it true?" She said, "Have you named him yet?" I can't remember what I named him, but it was kind of funny. She said, "Really? Are you going to?" I said, "Yes. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got a call. The SO called me. They got 2 alligators in a trash can." It's getting steeper.
Is that even the weirdest thing that you've gotten a call about?
Probably. I don't know. This job is like making memories. I mean, just when you think you've seen it all. There's a couple big rocks. Oh, they get steeper in that one up here. I've hunted all this.
Yeah.
Years ago, yeah, ginseng. This is the type of areas I get in. The water weed, a little more moisture, and the thick brush. People tend to normally just go out in the open and find the easy stuff. You find the bigger plants and stuff like that. There's one. Big rock. Rock.
Ginseng
No,
or?
rock.
Okay.
Have you ever seen ginseng?
Yeah, I have.
Have
Yeah.
you?
But recently, on this reporting trip.
Oh, recently you have?
Yeah.
See, it gets deeper, but this is, you can see we're on the private now. But we own a piece back in there. You know, I had some tips that guy was getting dropped off there, and he come out, you know, and he had 3 or 4 pounds of wet every time he'd dig it. Getting dropped off. I guess he seen me one day. He was in a brown van, and somebody told me that he said he seen me. I just missed him. But, you know, they give these people $40 to drop them off. 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. And come back and pick them up. And that's how they get around us. That hill's almost straight up. I arrested a guy down here by the oil tanks 2 years ago. He had 498 roots.
Wow.
And he was already caught in Morgan County. And he wasn't supposed to be digging ginseng. And you met Jay. I had my law supervisor with me. So I'm going to ride with you tomorrow. He said, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to go find us a ginseng digger. He got to laughing. I come out here and got a hit on the plate and made the connection with this girl, and the guy was digging was up that hill, and he come down. He ran on us. He come down here. That's a dead end. I'm setting out. Jay's in my truck. Law supervisor's in my truck. He's out the road, and this guy comes running down the hill, and he's got a claw hammer and a sack. And I said, state wildlife officer. And as soon as I said that, he was running fast, so I got to the vehicle and grabbed him by the shoulder. And when I grabbed him, I was trying to pull him out. He jerked and slammed the door and took off this way. And I said, Jay, I said, he's running. He said, well, where's he heading? I said, well, he's got to come back. I said, that's a dead end. He come back this road. I mean, he was, you know, traveling at a high rate of speed. I end up getting hold of Muskingum County Sheriff's Office and told them that he was either going to be going south down the river or going on Maple Avenue, and they picked him up about 20 miles from here on over by 70. So yeah, he was parked right here, and I was sitting right there. See that smooth beech tree?
Yep.
That's where I was at. And he come running down this hill, and you know, in that amount of time, you know, usually you catch people off guard, but you know, he knew he was already in trouble for ginseng, and he was going to go to jail. But you know, I can't do it. I'm sitting there telling him stop. You know, he blows by me, and he blows by, you know, Officer Aubrey up here with the lights on.
So someone like that already has been, or would it be arrested in Morgan County, or what was he? He was arrested in Morgan County.
He was arrested in Morgan, and he was supposed to be going to, I think he had to go to court. And then I arrest him up here, and then I find out there's a warrant out for him. and I ended up running into him and arresting him because he wasn't going to come to eat any of that stuff. I think he was going to go to Nelsonville for 4 years, probation violation or whatever. But
And that was related to the ginseng, or that was?
I don't know what that was. That was out of Morgan.
Okay.
But I was trying to get, with our prosecutors and have him brought up to Muskingum County because I knew he was going to run. I went down and gave him his citations, and we never seen him again. And last I heard, he abducted his girlfriend. I think he assaulted her and left her in the trunk, and he got 35 years.
Wow.
That's guys trying to rip out that car. You don't know. You don't. And he told me, he said in my interview, he seen me right there. He said, I seen you drive by. He always seen me driving this. He camped right there.
Is that kind of an extreme case, though?
Oh, yeah.
Are they generally dangerous?
No, just out, majority of them say, I ain't going to lie. They'll try to see how far you're going to go. I'm going to have them empty their pockets out, and if they got ginseng in there, then, it's a situation.
So,
But-
I mean, I'm going to be camping out, actually, in a lot of state forests and all of that. What would be your advice to me if I come across someone that I suspect of poaching for ginseng?
I doubt if you will. You're getting close now. Ginseng's dying.
But if I were?
No, maybe Bigfoot. But if you were, you've camped out before. I'd just act normal. They don't want you. They're going to avoid you. They don't want to be noticed. If they see a tent, they're going to be afraid that you're going to see them.
But avoid confrontation. Don't bring up ginseng. Don't try
No.
to interview them on the spot.
No.
So kind of like when you're coming across wildlife, it's like you're afraid of them and they're afraid of you kind of situation.
Yeah, almost like a coyote. They were going to run the other way. But there is a case, I was telling officers, there's going to come a day at a time where people are going to get assaulted. I had one guy that was hit with the club. Somebody tried to steal his ginseng in the woods. So
Wow.
you just don't know.
Was that recently?
Last year.
Now, someone I interviewed said that the amount of digging kind of corresponds to how the economy is. Is that something that you've seen as well? Or more
I think a lot of the problems, people got to be introduced to somehow. I was introduced by my father. He's 93. He would be out here digging if he still could. Or I've taken friends and got them, kids, get them into it. But, where the trouble is Filthy Riches, your shows, once those aired, the spike went up. People just pulling off by a guardrail, jumping out, going down over the hill, got machetes, don't even know what they're looking for. They're going to go out and make all this money and make a lot of paperwork for me is what it turns out to be. But normally the people are, they're pretty decent.
Have you, in the interviews that you do, have you had anyone actually mention the shows?
Yeah, I have. Yep. I've asked them, how long you been hunting? Well, this is my first time out. It's important for them to know the laws. It's their responsibility. It's just hard to, is it hard to arrest somebody like that? No, not really. The people that, I normally catch, like the guy pulled off here had 3 guys late in the season. They was up in here trying to find it. The one had a warrant, he's still digging ginseng. And, great guy, just as long as he does it the right way. he assumed that a lot of people think because they come out here and camp and know the guy out there, that's their, I should be able to hunt ginseng. But a lot of people coming out here to hunt it might not even be a friend bringing them out, and then they come on their own. That's the people that I've run into. But this road right here, I bet you in 4 years, I'd say probably 10 people. That's a lot. We'll start working our way back down 60. Go along the river. Real pretty down through there. And I might be able to show you a piece of ginseng.
Great.
It's been there for quite some time. I've been watching it 2-3 years. I can see it from my vehicle. Somebody's going to get it. I think right there where that ginseng plant's within 100 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've arrested 5 people.
Wow.
And it's borders private property and state property. So, my brother has land out there, and he hunts. He don't hunt very much ginseng anymore, but some of the people were coming out on him.
It's interesting that they call it hunting ginseng. Do you know why they do that? Are there any other plants that are hunted?
Well, I think they're looking for. That's just a word that they're doing. It sounds better than looking for ginseng in our regulations, but it does create a lot of problems because people think they're hunting ginseng on our wildlife areas. It says hunting. They find out, it's not so. And that's, a lot of people. And I do, you've seen the High as Green Gold, our little brochure that we hand out. A lot of people that I arrest, I hand out. There's a time, I'll hand something like that to them.
You getting out of here?
We're going right back.